Hello, Erin from Morehouse Farm here with today's technique tip is the Sewn Bind Off by Elizabeth Zimmerman. We're using it at the top of our Wanderly socks, which were designed in Morehouse Merino Gator yarn by Amy Snell, the devious knitter. And this really cute band at the top is finished off by that sewn bind off so that it's nice and stretchy and looks a little bit like the longtail cast on. So if you want to match, this is a good one. How you do this is the same no matter where you start. So what you do is you take a tapestry needle with your yarn. Before I started this, I followed the pattern instructions and left a length of yarn that was about 4 times the circumference of my sock so that I would have plenty of yarn. And what I need to do is put my needle through as if I'm purling 2 stitches together. And then I'm going to put my needle through 1 and drop that off the needle. I'm going to purl 2, knit 1, drop it off the needle. Purl 2. Now, I am an Eastern or combination purler. So see how the right leg of the purl stitch ends up in the back? I can either reposition it or pay special attention for how that needs to happen. So there's my 2 stitches to purl after I've repositioned. And then I can knit my last one, drop it off. Now I can purl 2, knit 1, drop the knit 1 off, purl 2, knit 1, drop the knit 1 off. Here I go again. If I don't want to reposition it, I have to make sure I come through the back of the stitch. That does become a little more awkward. It's probably hard to see too, and the idea being that if I were to grab this one by itself, I need to come back through here. So there's my purl 2, but I have to then find that stitch right here to do the knit part again. So that can be a little bit trickier. So it may be easier if you are an Eastern or combination purler to reposition that stitch. And then we'll purl 2, knit 1, and it reminds me of every passerby when I'm knitting at a train station or wherever comes and says, oh, knit 1, purl 2, right? Because that's essentially what you're doing. There's my purl 2, knit 1, purl 2, and hey, they would finally be right. And be careful it doesn't catch the needle. That happens every once in a while. And we're working our way down to the home stretch here. We've got just a couple more left to go. There's our purl 2, knit 1, and I'm just referring to the direction that my tapestry needle is going through the stitches. So we'd purl in this direction, those 2 together, and then we'd knit in this direction. Ta-da! Okay, last 2, and I am going to reposition that last one so that they are on the needle in the same direction with the right leg toward the front. There's my purl, drop this one off. Now I get to decide what do I want to do, and because I've got the end of the row here, this is my opportunity to purl this one and then grab the first stitch on the round again so that I can even that out. And this is always a tricky part for any project knit in the round because you are knitting a spiral. But with a little bit of ingenuity, you can do a really good job of making that even off. Now I've just got to darn in that end. And you'll see this is also where I joined yarns. So if I give that a tug, and I can cinch those up pretty nicely too. And there I have a very nice sock edge with a sewn bind off made by Elizabeth Zimmerman. Happy knitting, everyone.